No Chill Sports is an unapologetic, high-energy sports show where opinions fly fast and facts hit hard. The views and opinions expressed on this program are solely those of the hosts and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of any affiliated networks, sponsors, or partners. Content may include passionate debates, bold predictions, and unfiltered takes that some viewers may find intense or controversial. Listener discretion is advised. If you're looking for chill, this ain't the place.
Hey, welcome back to HBCU Hour, where the legacy lives loud and the culture takes center stage. From the gridiron to the hardwood, we shine a spotlight on the soul of Black college sports. This ain't just coverage, it's a celebration. What's good with you, my boy?
What's going on, Dad? How you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. I tried to cut the grass real quick before it started raining, and then raindrops started coming down. I said, oh shoot! So I stopped cutting the grass, came to get ready. So half my backyard cut and it ain't rain yet. So I'm gonna be in trouble later on. Yeah. Go figure. But it's a good one. We got another good one tonight, man. Get to talk some more football. Got the new season coming up, 2025, and we got some brands in the building tonight. We got Southern and FAMU.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it because it needs to be said.
Somebody lying.
Already. They ain't even got started. I don't know what they said. They lying already. They gonna come on the show line. So that what the disclaimer need to be. Our guests will be lying. So, but we'll see. We got I do want to say I want to mess with him when he come. Carlos. Mr. Carlos Brown from the Carlos Brown Show. He came on last year, and I forget what he said, but I think he was like, they were like, Southern was undefeated when he was talking about it. And I was like, somebody asked me, they said, why you let all them people come on y'all show line? And I started laughing. They won the West. So who was really lying? So I'm trying to figure out. So
They did.
They won the West. So hey.
Maybe something.
Hey, you knew something, y'all didn't. So, but let's go ahead and get started, man. But first, gotta give a shout out to our sponsors over at Dubby. Dubby is a powdered energy drink aimed at gamers and individuals seeking focus and energy. It's known for its clean ingredients, no jitters, and various flavors. Dubby is also available in a hydration formula for those needing electrolytes. Dubby achieves its smooth, effective focus with a high-end tasting experience while using no sugars, fillers, artificial flavors, colors, or dyes. Try Dubby today by scanning the QR code on screen or visit them at the website bit.ly/NoChillDubby. Dubby, your taste buds' favorite energy drink. All right. We said we was going to bring some heavy hitters on and talk about Southern and FAMU. We basically got a Black College Sports Network takeover, man. We got Mr. Carlos Brown from the Carlos Brown Show. We got Mr. Brian Fulford, Coach Brian, and none other than you. Look, I'm gonna say, look at the picture. He lying already. I'm just saying it. We got Kelvin.
We gotta get you some new photos. We gotta get y'all some new photos.
Thank y'all for joining us today. How y'all doing?
Hey man, I like that photo, man.
I bet you do, Kelvin. I bet you do. I hate that photo I got. I'm like, damn, who is that guy?
Hey, I'm
30 pounds heavier.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm 20 pounds heavier now. Give me that picture.
Yeah, Jesus.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and address the elephant in the room. Coach B, what you got against Angel Reese? That's what I want to know. What you got against Angel Reese?
The fact that she can't score outside of 6 feet from the rim. What?
Here we go. Here
we go. It's his Indiana bias. I'm gonna say it.
I had to realize. I said, man,
that's right. We know how to shoot a 10-foot basket in Indiana. We teach our bigs how to shoot from outside. I'm just saying.
Oh.
And we teach them how to finish around the rim too. So on the first try, not the second and third attempt. Just saying. That's saying. Next.
The haters gonna hate. I tell you that much. But fellas, how everybody doing tonight? Glad to have everybody back. Have y'all with us again. So
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. It's a pleasure to be back. And I heard the intro. People thought I was lying. When do I ever lie? Oh yeah, watch for the lightning bolt. But yeah, we're gonna get into some football talk. But all I'm gonna say is one word: expectations, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
All right. We start every show this way. Before you go forward, you gotta look back. We talked about, Southern winning the West last year, but it wasn't pretty at all times.
Nope.
Your thoughts on last season and how that went in Coach Graves' first year?
Well, a team takes on the attributes of their coach, and Coach Graves is kind of old school. Well, not kind of, old school, tough. Played coach under Coach Pete Richardson, and it was a grind. You were absolutely right. It wasn't pretty, and I'm sure we're gonna get into some talk about expectations. Quarterback room, it was up and down. Noah Bowden, Caesarian, they're now out of the program, and you look for more stability at the quarterback room. And Jalen Woods, it's going to be his job to lose, and he's a little different. The other two I mentioned, they're dual threat quarterbacks. He is more of your traditional drop back passer, and what he's trying to add to his arsenal this year is, running the RPO. And then we're going to talk later. They brought in two other quarterbacks, and so the big word is competition. Two dual threats, one traditional quarterback. I like the guy that can make the throw and the pass 99% of the time. And if he can't beat you with his arm, then he has enough athletic ability to beat you with the athleticism.
So now for the ONG crowd, same for you fellas. What thoughts on last season under Coach Cozy in his first year?
I'll go first. Coach Cozy had a unbalanced year. Let's put it that way. But a lot of it he didn't control. All right, he didn't control when he actually got the job, which was somewhere in February. He didn't control that. By then a lot of our potential returning all swag players were already in the portal, or had been reached out to by other programs. What, three of them went FBS. So he was starting off. He couldn't control that. He during the spring, he couldn't have a regular scrimmage because he had like 50 some players, and most of them weren't on the D line. So you didn't have the line to be able to to run a traditional scrimmage. So he had a controlled scrimmage. Plus, he didn't even have his full staff still during the spring. As a matter of fact, he had a couple of coaches that came late in the summer, right before camp started. So you had all those things that contributed, as well as he couldn't control that. He had his kicker, and I'm gonna give y'all some stats later on, but he couldn't control that his long range kicker as well as a kickoff specialist, and his punter, who was all returned all SWAC, he lost them after the 4th game, the University of Miami game. So there was a lot of things that contributed to last season, and we still went 7-5. We still finished second in the SWAC East. We still beat South Carolina State. We still beat Southern, who won the West. We beat Alabama, A&M, and Alabama State. So, you know, when you just be honest and look at all those factors, you know, he get a C. It was average. It was average, but it probably should be honest a little bit more than that because of everything that he had to go through that he didn't directly control.
I'll add to that by saying there is no tougher task in college sports than to follow a legend, a great coach. That's a tough task. And Coach Cozy had to follow Willie Simmons, who brought FAMU football back into a golden era. We were excited. We were in the valley, and I don't mean that, no pun intended. We were, prior to that game and prior to Willie, we were in a dark place, right? And for almost what, Kelvin, maybe a decade the fact we lost 9 consecutive games to our rival. I mean, that's a decade of misery. So for us to come out of that and reach the highest point where we won the national championship, won the SWAC, all of these great feelings, and we never got a chance to really celebrate it. We never got a chance to really enjoy it. And here comes Coach Cozy, tasked with having to keep fans focused on what matters, and keep them energized about the football program. And he had this winning streak, which had built its own life. So you have all these things that he had to work with, besides the things Kelvin just mentioned. That's a lot for a first season head coach. Now, Coach Cozy's not going to make excuses, and we're not going to make excuses for him. But you're fooling yourself if you would say those things don't matter. I personally even said those things mattered a year ago for TC Taylor when he followed who he followed. I said the very thing. Now, he stabilized the ship, and look what they did. So my optimism, Kelvin's optimism, comes from that, about the fact that this is a year of stabilization. He's got coaches, his coaches, not someone else's coaches, not coaches that he worked alongside with who maybe felt like they should have had the job, but his guys, his people, his recruits. That's all him now. So this is a big year for Coach Cozy because this is his program officially.
Since like you said, he has his imprint on the program now. He has his guys in there. These are mostly his players that he wanted he wanted to recruit to come be a part of FAMU. What's the thing that you expect to see from this FAMU team this year? Not necessarily wins and losses, but what's going to define a FAMU team under Coach Cozy?
He's been talking about details and discipline from jump, really since the end of last year. And I think this always sounds bad when I say it, so Kelvin probably knows where I'm about to go. No one wants to lose a streak like what we had. No one wants to lose to Valley. But doing that woke everybody up in the building. It woke everyone's tail up. And we made some changes, not only with the coaching, which Cozy made, and he probably wanted to make maybe 2 to 3 weeks earlier, but didn't. It happened. And the players, even to a man, will tell you, we didn't really think that would happen. It's like seeing somebody with a problem And then when they hit rock bottom, it's like, yeah, you got a problem. I need to solve it. And so all of that has taken place now as a result of that game. We finished the season with a 2-game win streak with the new OC. We ran the ball way better than we've been running all season. And like so many people were saying, run the ball, run the ball. So all of that stuff took place. So you're going to see this year a team that does the kind of things that Coach Colsey wants to do, which run the ball better, control the ball. You'll see I think you'll see some variations in the defense as well. I think you'll see that. I mean, because now he's the defensive coordinator. So that too is a change where, he's saying, I'm taking control of this team and shaping it to look the way I want it to look. And I applaud him for doing that.
And I'll just add real quick, and I think Brian really hit the biggest thing that I'm going to talk about is the defense. Everybody talk about, Willie and him being an offensive-minded coach and all the success we had. Well, the success started with that dark cloud defense. We were 1 and 2 in almost every statistical category in the SWAC for the last 4 or 5 years when Ryan Smith was there, Smitty Rock. Last year, we dropped to 5th and like 8th. We were in the middle of the pack in almost all categories. So we'll get back closer to the defense that we were previously. And then the other part, we were just horrible on kickoff coverage. Teams were starting at the 50-yard lines every game, including Valley. So once we lost our kicker who could kick it out the end zone, Michael Smith, I mean, we just struggled. So we got, we got a new experience coordinator in, and we got like 5 kickers, right? We're going to have kicking specialists, a guy who just punts, a guy who just kicks short field goals, a guy who kicks off, and we got like 2 or 3 long snappers. So if we handle just those 2 areas and clean that up and get back to what our standards are, then, I mean, we got a great home schedule, all the good teams coming to us outside of Southern. Expectations. We have high expectations for the season.
Sound like 10, 11 wins.
Don't know that.
There you go. Don't you start, Carlos. I know one night we will get a win.
Oh yeah, coming to Baton Rouge. Very good. The gloves have come on.
All right. Hey, so let me ask this, Mr. Carlos. Last time y'all had a new head coach, y'all won the West.
Duly.
The next season after that, it didn't necessarily go so well. What's the feeling this time around?
Well, of course, Dooley and Coach Graves are friends. They coached on the staff together, but Coach Graves is it's different. He's different. As I stated earlier, he's old school, and they're paying attention to the little details. For one, they knew they had to upgrade an O-line position. They checked that box. D-line, they checked that box. Matter of fact, some of the defensive linemen they got in, even some of the Jackson State coaches are like, damn, we wanted a couple of those, but you didn't get them. So he knows about expectations. He doesn't let that bother him. This time, I think the team has really improved. When Dooley, his second year, it's kind of like, I don't want to get into too much personal stuff, but it was something off the field that kind of got Dooley in trouble. Sometimes you use the word stubborn. That happened in that case. So this time, they're just better, and the program seems to be trending in the right direction. But expectations, defending Western Division champions, Jaguar Nation wants to see them make the next step. They got to the championship. They lost to an outstanding Jackson State football team. They feel that they've got now the ingredients in place to make that next step. And when I tell you, a fan base that's starving for a championship. That's the Jaguar Nation.
So FAMU has been kind of spoiled in a sense when it comes to the quarterback position over the last few years. You know, you had Musaf, who was great quarterback in his own right, and then last year, you know, you just replace him with the leading quarterback in the SWAC, you know, in terms of yards. Does the streak continue next year? I mean, what does it look like for quarterback for the Rattlers?
Well, I would say I heard that Carlos talk about competition. My brother, ain't nobody quarterback room deeper than FAMU with new additions. We lost our top two quarterbacks, Daniel to graduation,
Mhm.
and I think we were ready to move on from his backup, Junior Maritovich. And we brought in 5 QBs with various different levels of experience. You know, some from the JUCO, some transfer in, and many think it's a 3-man race right now between 3 of those transfers. But we'll see. That the one thing I will say that's going to make this season very interesting, and also it'll be the reason why I'll be very sober when we talk about who wins and losses. This is the first time I think we're going to have true dual threat quarterback because you know Willie didn't really like guys who would get outside the pocket and create and be off schedule. I think our quarterback coach is who's also our offensive coordinator. He was a dual threat, a true dual threat, a great dual threat quarterback. So I'm interested to see what that looked like with our top two running backs returning, 3 of our top 5 offensive linemen. You know, we're gonna get into the roster we have, but yeah, I think we won't know, frankly, to be honest, until we see a couple of games and how those quarterbacks react.
Let me ask this. So, and when I'm gonna ask this carefully because I don't want to go into details, but I'm gonna ask it in a way. FAMU seems to always have distractions that stop their greatness. How is Cozy keeping the team focused from all the outside noise and all the extracurricular stuff that the fans get involved with in social media?
Let me say this. Those quote distractions are distractions for everybody but the college athletes that are wearing orange and green with Florida A&M and Rattlers on it. It really is. I mean, it's a distracting for us alumni, fans. It hypes up the media and the HBCU diaspora. You know, it gives people like Adrian Crook, give them something to talk about and chat about. You know, it gets those people excited. But for the college athletes, no, man, they're not distracted by this. They're not. Because sadly, we've had so much of it that we still winning. Remember, where were we a year ago? What was everybody's soul running around the HBCU diaspora talking about just 1 year ago? Come on. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead. Everybody wants to chuckle 237, right? Everybody band performances. Oh, we're gonna dance on y'all 237 ways, blah, 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 right? What did we do? We won the second most SWAC conference titles, won band of the year. I mean, if we had more sports in the SWAC, we might have won the doggone Commissioner's Cup. I'm not gonna get into that. That's not okay. I'm not gonna go there. So we still won the second most conference championships in the SWAC, coming off of and we won more than JSU, Adrian. So stop it. We won more than JSU, right? You can have that one football trophy and one title. Great, y'all won football, but we beat you in about 2 other sports anyway. So I'm just saying the distraction is a outside the locker room. What's the word? Distraction. There you go. It's outside, but it doesn't affect the players. It doesn't. I mean, remember Boston Richie? Remember that whole thing? What did we do coming off of that? Oh, we won a national title. Won the SWAC. So I mean, hey, if the correlation is noise and distraction leads to championships, bring it. Come on, give me something new every year. Every summer, give me something and I'll take it. We don't like quiet at FAMU. Y'all can have quiet at all your other schools. Quiet ain't winning y'all titles. It ain't winning y'all championships. So that's all I'm going to say.
So you saying you want another video filmed in the locker room?
No, I don't want another. Let me read that. No. We would love. Hey, I mean, we would love to be on the back pages on page 8 of the SWAC media guide of the SWAC interest media guide. We'd love to be on page 8. But I mean, we FAMU. We FAMU. Let us go ahead and be on page 1. If we can't be on page 1, then put us on page 2 to distract you from wanting to be on page 1. There you go.
I heard that. So, Mr. Carlos, let me ask you this. Last year, I don't think many people expected Southern to really be a competitor in the SWAC. Maybe for the West, but not many people saw y'all playing for a SWAC title. This year, it's a little different. I don't think y'all gonna sneak up on anybody. How is the team prepared to kind of go from being the hunter to kind of the guy, the ones people trying to knock off?
Well, they have been working hard, and again, they have a coach that is old school. What you done last year, that's over it. You put it in historical terms or in the history books. They won the West, but the ultimate goal is to do better, a championship. And so, like I said earlier, they went out and recruited the pieces that they needed to make that next step, and that's a championship. I think one of the things is it's going to be interesting to see in the quarterback room. Jalen Woods started in the spring. Technically, it's his job to lose. But you bring in Jamari Jones, who came in January. Last time we saw him, he was in the SWAC at Mississippi Valley State, and then he went to JUCO. Then Cameron McCoy, another dual threat quarterback. And how ironic, I believe, and they'll correct me if I'm wrong about this, in the Jackson State Southern SWAC championship game, I believe he led that drive to tie the score at 10-10 going into the half. So competition, quarterbacks, they've also brought in and I made my notes here. They brought in a defensive tackle. You guys may know. Demarion Johnson. Is that name familiar to you? From Westgate High School. He transferred in. He transferred in from LSU. A lot of people don't know that, but he's gonna play a lot. So with Coach Graves and that staff, with expectations at Southern, if you finish 7-4, 7-5, 8-4, they kind of say it's okay, but they spoil from the legacy of Coach Richardson. When his first season, he's 11 wins, and he had multiple championships, HBCU national championships. So when they say Southern fans are arrogant, that's true. Cocky, that's true. But expectations is really high at Southern University. So we'll see. We'll probably get into the schedule. I think Southern has a very tough schedule, but again, we'll talk about that.
All right, sorry about that. I'm sorry. I was actually looking through the schedule. I'm gonna ask actually both teams here. And I'll start with you, Mr. Carlos. Areas of concern with your team.
That's a good question. I think you still have to look at the quarterback room. Although I've said they've got talent there, competition based on last season when they kind of got off to a rocky start offensively. Quarterback play, you look at that as well. Um, Defensive line, they lost some good people, but they got Kelby Givens back, and I'm still trying to see who really blocked him in the conference and in the non-conference games. He did that well. Um, but a major concern is quarterback room, and also the kicking game. They they signed a fantastic kicker, Nathan Zimmer, from the state championship Central High in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That was always a touchy situation. This guy is really a tremendous kicker. People were saying, "How did Southern?" They were shocked that they were able to get somebody like that. So those two are my concerns, and I really want to see though how this quarterback room plays out because they want people to push Jalen Woods. But my two concerns are at quarterback and also running back because they lost quite a few people,
Yeah.
but they did sign
Mm-hmm.
Mike Franklin. Southern hasn't had a big back like that in a long time. 6'2", 225 pounds from Jacksonville State. Um, he's going to get them that pop, and then it's not official, but I want to release another name that they add last Friday. Transfer running back from Louisiana Tech. It's going to be the thing of thunder and lightning, and with the O line that they brought in, you know, Coach Coach Mark Frederick, he's going to want to run that ball, but I'm looking to see if there's going to be balance. That's what I love, balance offensively.
All right. Now ONG, same question.
Go ahead, Kelvin.
Well, I think that one of the weakness I told you the biggest drop off for us last year was our defense and our special teams. So I'm gonna hit on we lost the kicker, Cameron Gillis, who was 31 I believe, from PATs and 15 or 18 from 15 field goals. So he was reliable when we got inside of like 30 yards in. So we brought in a lot of kickers. So I want to see what that kicking game looked like. Of course, we got competition at the quarterback position. We got 5 guys we brought in plus 2 that were returning. So how that shakes out, who's going to lead the team? That's a concern. And then last but not least for me, I'm gonna say something that we usually don't say at FAMU. I want to see what the depth looks like at wide receiver because we have some guys coming back, but we did lose some guys uh, to graduation, and I know we got some guys banged up right now. So when everybody's healthy and we have that, those first 4, we know what we have. But we used to rotating about 7, 8 guys, and so a little concerned about the depth of the wide receiver units right now.
I'm gonna add the defensive line. I thought Kelvin might talk about the defensive line. I from what I saw in the spring, I think it'll be good. It is a lot. We've got some good returners, and they're just gonna have to prove it. They're just gonna have to prove and live up to the expectation again. And maybe scheme will be with a different scheme.
Yeah,
you will see some improvement this year. So that's the group that I would add in alongside with what Kelvin said.
Beside the signal caller, who's the most important player for your team this year? We can start with you, Carlos.
I'm gonna say Jalen Woods. I really believe that he's a coach on the field. Consistent and good quarterback play will be the key. And I was listening to my good friends that are talking about the wide receiver room and depth. Yeah, I should have mentioned that for Southern as a concern. Wide receivers that can get off the ball and make the catches when need be. But then again, it goes back to the quarterback play to get them the ball back. But I'm gonna say Jalen Woods, and on defense, Kelvin Givens. I mean, he's a leader, All-American, and he has a high octane motor, and hopefully that'll spread to the defensive players that are coming back.
Same for y'all over there, Rattler Nation.
Brian, I'm gonna say Westmoreland. We got to have that defense. The one thing we were missing off last year's team that we've had the previous 4 or 5 years in the SWAC was that edge rusher that was disrupted.
Mm-hmm.
And Westmoreland came in, transferred in from the University of Kansas. He was solid, but he was not dominating. They didn't have to double team him. He needs to be the guy. He's going to be the leader of the defense. He's probably the most not only experienced but talented, experienced guy returning. Even though all of our defensive lines up, I think one person is returning. So, as Brian indicated, we'll be experienced, we'll be talented, and if anybody watched us last year, I was very critical of our schemes. I thought some of the stuff we did just made no sense. So, but yeah, Westmoreland on our defense. If the Dark Cloud defense is back, he's got to be the guy.
And gentlemen, can I say this? On the coaching staff, most valuable will be Fred McNair. You know why? He moved up to quarterback coach, played college football at quarterback, and he is going to be the MVP, I think, on the staff. Just wanted to get that in.
I will say the one name on the other side will be 6'1", 230.
I was going to say that
running back, Thad Franklin Jr.
Yeah.
Remember the name. Remember the name. Once we decided to give the ball to the running back, that's 6'1", 230, and that was the week after Valley. I'm looking at the stat line. 26 carries, 195 yards, 3 touchdowns against Bethune. The next week, 9 carries, 41 yards, and a touchdown. That was Alabama A&M that last week. We made the commitment to run the ball, and Thad Franklin was a big part of that. And it was so refreshing to finally see the ball run the way we felt like it could have been ran. I mean, hell, in the Valley game, Thad Franklin had 6 carries for 77 yards, right? And we lost that game.
Because we didn't feed him the ball.
We didn't feed him the ball. I mean, so when we fed the man the ball, I don't even know if I could quickly pull up his yards per carry, his average, but I would just go off of just a guess that it was a little. It was probably close to 5. Per attempt. So can we give a guy that many? I mean, he only had 120 carries last year, ran for 653 yards. And all of that, pretty much, well, 2/3 of that, or I'd say half of that, came in against Bethune. So that's the name that I think is going to be the feature back. And he reminds me so much of 2 years ago when we had Terrell Jennings, who NFL running back for the New England Patriots, was the feature back the year when we did what? So a lot of similarities in terms of our ability to run the ball with the quality back.
I think he had 5.4 yards per carry last year, if I'm not mistaken. So you'll take that all day.
Feed Thad Franklin the ball, please.
Is that why the OC is no longer there?
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and say it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Among other things, but sure. Yes. And we wish him well because we like him. I like him.
Yeah.
But no, sorry.
I don't know. It always seems like to me, each year you look at your personnel and you kind of craft a scheme according to your personnel. Sometimes it's like, well, we've run this system and it'll work. We're going to continue to run it. That's not the case all the time. But anyway.
Well, Ant, you ready?
It's that time.
It's that time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, get your popcorn ready. Let's take a look at this schedule. We're gonna start off with FAMU. First game, Orange Blossom Classic taking on Howard. Rematch of the Celebration Bowl from 2024. Oh, I'm sorry, 2023.
Right. We won the MEAC last year. We came sucking in the Swag East, but we won the MEAC. Nothing changes.
We will win the MEAC again.
All right. I'm all right. We got that one as a win. All right, got Florida Atlantic.
That's a L. But it's it's a L. We yeah.
All right. You welcome in Albany State for your home opener.
Yeah, we love you, Quinn, but you're gonna take that L. It's a W.
I was just about to say the Coach Quinn game. So then you welcome in Alabama State.
When have we lost? When the last time we lost to them?
When have we lost to Alabama State?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's a W. That's a hell yeah, that's a W right there.
Look at where the game is being played at. Look at where the game is being played at.
Hey, it could be played in Timbuktu. We so mad. We are so mad about losing. I ain't gonna lie. We so mad about messing up that streak and embarrassing ourselves.
The Valley of all teams.
Yeah, embarrassing. I guarantee you. We gonna hang about 50 on them.
50.
So,
about 40.
I was thinking 60, but
I'll take that. I'll take it.
All right. So let me ask this. I'm before we move on, why is this game in Atlanta?
Valley moved the game. Valley
wanted to move it.
Well, it wasn't that they wanted to move it. From what I understand, they got approached and the price was right.
They figured that nobody want to go to Itabena. They would rather go to Atlanta.
True.
Well, they ain't lied there.
That's true. No lies told. Hey, hold on. Ask Carlos if he going to Itabena to open the season. Then you'll get your answer about that.
I'm still shell shocked. The last time I went was in the 80s. A guy named Willie Totten and Jerry Rice. It was frightening. And plus, getting back about 3 or 4 in the morning, no sir.
That's a sundown. It'll be a sundown. What they call it, a sundown community or whatever it is.
Sundown town.
And the grass was extremely high.
Of course. Now it's field turf. So.
Right.
See, look.
And their home openers against Southern, right?
Yeah. Watch out, Southern.
New coach.
Come to play.
All right. Now,
it's
in all fairness,
yeah. Go ahead.
This game here is I think gonna be highly underrated. I don't care what nobody. North Carolina Central in Tallahassee.
Well, you got to remember now, Central lost they do everything quarterback, along with a few other key pieces, and their offensive line coach and running back coach is on our staff. So
I'm making notes.
Well, wait a minute, Kelvin. They still have Walker Harris.
He was talking about. I know he's talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I hold on. I had to say that for somebody who I love dearly, who might be in the chat room, might be watching. They still have Walker Harris, though, Kelvin.
Yeah, who was that? He don't scare nobody. Did he win? We won the MEAC. They didn't win the MEAC.
I'm just saying, Kelvin.
I'm just
Walker Harris.
I'm just saying. I know those coaches that are on our staff will be definitely up for that game, and I know that Central. I know they head coach, and I respect him a lot. He's a great coach.
Yeah.
So I do expect the dog fight, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's in Bragg, and we damn mad about the streak, so they ain't gonna win it.
All right. Then how y'all get all these home games back to back like this?
Homecoming.
Yes.
Y'all got
schedule. Very favorable schedule. Go ahead, Brian.
Homecoming game. I mean, we don't lose homecoming, or at least under this, we haven't lost homecoming in I don't know, a long time.
Be careful with them streaks. Y'all know how they go with y'all. I'm just saying.
Yeah. You're right.
Those streaks go about 6 or 7 years in about 4 or 5 seasons. That's where our streaks go.
Look, we the distraction committee. You know, they gonna ask Grambling the last time they traveled to Tallahassee for the first time in I don't know how long. That distraction committee was none nice. And, you know, Alcorn will deal with the same thing. They haven't been to Tallahassee in about 40, 30 years. You know, it might be a lot of heads turned looking in different directions other than where they need to be. So that's all I'm going to say.
Hey, help Charles Edmond out because he's already complaining about no hotel rooms.
We complaining too. We complain every year. So I mean, we can join the club. That's all we can tell you is join the frustration right there with us. So we're right there with you, Charles.
All right, this next one. This might get a little awkward. Carlos, y'all need me to mute Carlos before y'all start talking about the game?
No, I got some stats. You want me to go? I got stats. I went and pulled up the Southern University stats. So I went to their website and pulled up the stats, the series history stats.
I'm a historical guy, but that has nothing to do with this upcoming year.
Okay. Let Carlos tell it. 38-24-1. That's the record for FAMU versus Southern. We won the last 5 meetings. You know, now that we get to play Southern every year, we become a thorn in their side. Last 5 in a row we've won. The last time, let me see. And this is actually the longest losing streak that Southern has actually had against us. So, I mean, there's one thing that kind of
they're gonna streak that word streak again. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. You know, we seem to have done pretty well. We've won 7 of the last 10 meetings against Southern. I mean, this will be a close ball game. It'll be a good ball game. It should be. It'll be, you know, worthy of a SWAC championship game preview.
Well, I'm finna say a card term. This is a possible. It's a possible for either team.
So which one y'all gonna do?
I'm gonna let Brian choose that one.
Choose what?
We winning or losing that one?
I'm not going.
Nope.
Nah, don't get shot now. No. Don't get shot now.
I got distracted by the game next week, and that might be the trap for the Southern game because see, just like what you just did, Pooh, when you scrolled down a little bit, I got to looking down at the next game.
You got to look.
And so there might be a few players that are looking ahead instead of focused in on this game. So it'll be very important for us to be really focused on being what they say week to week, being where your feet are, whatever little phrase and cliche you want to use to emphasize to the young men that we just finished homecoming. Now you got to turn around and get on the road and go to our toughest true road game of the season. And you cannot be looking ahead at next week.
Yeah, Southern is positioned perfectly for be playing us in between homecoming and Jackson State at home.
Yes,
that's why I say it's definitely a possible there.
Sound to me like y'all saying y'all losing that game, but y'all don't.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Who said that?
Hold on.
Our pride won't let us say it.
Exactly.
That's why he said it's impossible. You know, you got that. You got that 3 of spades. Man, I'm gonna turn that into a book somehow, some way. That 3 of spades is gonna turn into a book. I don't know how, but I'm gonna make that damn thing work.
Well, y'all got a couple minutes. I'm gonna let y'all figure out what that is when we get their record. We're gonna move on to the next one and let the chat get stirred up because this one is Jackson State at home.
27-21. I'm gonna shut it down right now. There it is. Ball game. 27-21. I'm gonna give you the score now. 27-21. FAMU. Done.
Boy.
Move on.
See how decisive you were with Jackson State?
Because that one's coming. That one's coming. Right there. We getting that one.
Speak softly and carry a big stick.
Nope, can't do it, Carlos. Can't do it. Can't do it.
No, I'm thinking about Southern. Just speak softly and carry a big stick.
All right. Pine Bluff.
Hmm.
In Pine Bluff. Oh,
Well,
everybody quiet now.
Will anybody be at that
Hello?
game? Yeah, exactly. Like the crowd at that game.
This
That's
thing
why.
on?
Does anybody be there?
You know what?
Everybody scared of Pine Bluff this year?
Well, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, that's in between the classic and that's after 3 high intensity games.
Trap game.
What is
Like a focus game.
it's gonna be cold in Pine Bluff
Let down.
that time of year. No, we'll win. It's gonna be ugly. It's
gonna look like those. Every time we go to Itabena, it'll be like those games where you'll look back and say, "How did we turn the ball over 4 times and still come out of the with a win in Itabena?" And then we all go back to saying, "Well, there was no crowd. We had to take a long bus ride through cotton fields." There's all these things that come up when you go to Itabena. This is what this game will be like. Hopefully, we don't have to take a bus.
All right. Y'all come to the hill.
Ooh. This is gonna be a tough one. This is gonna be a tough one, I think.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Carlos. I know, we did a poll recently and asked Rattler Nation what they thought their toughest true road game is, and of course, folks said Southern. But I think this is the one that I think is going to be the toughest game. And it's not out of disrespect for Southern. We understand what the Southern game means and what it'll be at that point in the season. This game, though, where I like Sam Shade as a coach, and I think Alabama A&M has one of the most intriguing quarterbacks coming. Yep. And if he plays with a better coach, system, team around him, as well as he did with what he had, woo! Alabama A&M, I'm telling you, that is a team worth paying attention to. So this is the true road game that scares me more than the Southern game, to be honest.
Interesting, Sam Shade.
So I'm of the thought that when championship teams are in contention, these late games in November, this is where you win them at. So this got to be a W if we in contention. If we beat Jackson State, we're gonna be Alabama A&M.
Okay. All right. Then you got the Classic, Florida Classic.
How many years has it been, Kelvin? How many years in a row have we beaten them right here?
3.
I thought it was 4.
4. Yeah.
All right. So we got 5 more before we even close to being even for that decade of losing. So this is another win. This is another win.
Yeah, this one
2 touchdowns. 2 plus touchdowns.
Yeah, this one won't be close.
2 plus touchdowns.
All right. Did y'all make up your mind on that other game? What is it, a win or a loss?
Southern. I give we haven't gave a swag loss yet, have we? So yeah, I give them the loss there.
All right. So I got 10-2. Is that right? Ain't that what you count?
Yep.
All right. Got 10-2.
I'm gonna let y'all say it because last year I came on the show and gave a number and it didn't work out. So I'm not giving no numbers this year. I'll let y'all say what y'all said. I'll let y'all be the calculators of the information. Right. I'm not saying it.
It sounded like 10-2, 1 swag loss to me. Well, actually a possible, but we'll count it as a loss.
Yeah.
Well, right. and I do want to put it in context, right? So we do have Jackson State and the East best teams, Alabama State at home, number one. We do have 88 players currently already here, and we have a very experienced team returning. So it's calculated, but honestly, in the East. You got Andrew Bott at Alabama State. If he's healthy, they're going to be a factor. Of course, Jackson State's going to be a factor. Even though I just personally think, you lose a guy like Mulligan, that I understand you got some pieces. They lost some receivers. They brought some receivers in. So out of those top three, it's gonna be like it is every year, man. It's gonna be a battle out of the same three in the East, I think. And Alabama A&M may be a wild card.
Let me throw this out there. You know, of our 12-game schedule, right? 7 of the teams that we are playing had a record of 500 or below last season, right? 5 of those 5 teams finished 600 or better, right? So our 3 toughest games are, without a doubt, Jackson State, Southern, and North Carolina Central. 2 of those 3 are at home. Okay. So I think when you hear us talking about 9 and 10 win seasons, it is based on the overall, as you just said, Kelvin, the number of returners. It is based on the 7 of the 12 games against sub 500 teams from a year ago, including the FBS opponent. I'm just going to put it out there and say it, right? And I think even if the worst case, if you wanted to say, you guys against our 3 toughest opponents, if we go, whether you say we go 1-2 or 2-1, it still adds up to a 9-10 win season.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, the math works out though. You're right. It just, on paper,
it's math on paper. Math on paper. That's how we like to do it in June.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna make sure I put this in. This schedule in. I mean, before I forget it. You said 10-2, right? Okay. All right. Just want to make sure I got that locked in. All right, Mr. Carlos.
That's what you said. That's what you said, Pooh, right?
Hey.
You and Ed are saying that, right? That's what y'all are saying.
I'm just going by the information that was fed. I'm just saying. So, data in, data out. All right, here we go. Switching over to Southern. Mr. Carlos, you're up to bat. And common opponent, North Carolina Central. Open up in the MEAC SWAC Challenge.
Could I say they're going to soften them up for FAMU? No, I better not say that. But you're catching them early. Trey Oliver, coach, I know a bit about him and some of the others on the staff. Oh, let's see. He was defensive coordinator at Southern University at one point and a position coach. And then he left. Odom's micromanaging, but I digressed. SWAC MEAC Challenge. The SWAC, Southern has done historically well in the SWAC MEAC Challenge.
Yeah, that's
you notice I say SWAC first, although M comes before S. Just like I got the SWAC shirt on here. It's gonna be tough. I think it's gonna be hard-nosed as the opening game. I think Southern's physicality will be challenged, and I think they'll answer the challenge. And I have Southern winning this one in a close, hard slobber knocker game.
All right, slobber knocker. I like it. Now you got Valley and Itabena.
Ooh, this could be a trap game. Could be. Could be, because if they're gonna have a slobber knocker in the first game, but I think this team is going to be focused. You're gonna see the physicality, and a lot of people ask about that. Will Southern get that old physicality style of play? I think they go in, they're on a mission, they're focused, they're going to win this ball game.
All right. Next up, you got Oh
yeah, that's another tough one. The Pete Richardson Classic. We often say Alabama State defensively very good. Can they score points offensively? Has been their short challenge. Mr. Body, will he stay healthy? We will probably say he will be healthy in the third game of the season. I wouldn't want it any other way. Southern's at home. Pete Richardson Classic, another tough physical battle, but I will say Southern will squeak out a win. He knows that's squeak.
Carter asked, Carter Bryant, is that Carlos MF Brown? Yeah, that's him. That is him. Oh
yeah, I know him. He produced my show on local radio years ago. Good guy.
Yeah. It's our good man, Carter. Fresno State in California. Y'all get y'all a nice little trip out of it.
Yeah, $500K paid in installments, reportedly. The band will come.
They got y'all on layaway?
Well, I wouldn't use the term layaway. Installments, man.
They paid for the band with Klarna.
Hey,
That's
I
what
was about
they
to say they hit them after pay.
hey,
get.
I'm a little older than you guys. Layaway was not a dirty term when I was growing
Yeah,
up.
it ain't a bad term. I'm just
They hit you with their paying for plan, man.
yeah, they did.
Well,
But but
and actually, they've already paid. You know,
Oh.
two years ago, they took some of their guarantee games, which is another topic. I hate those games with passion, but it is what it is. So they've literally got paid already. It's going to be tough. FBS, 83 scholarships plus 65 can go into 83 at least one time with a remainder, right? It's going to be tough. Throw caution to the wind. Go out and have fun, but it will be a loss.
all right. Then you got Jackson State.
You
Coming
know,
to Mumford.
that's right. And you know, my Jackson State friends always bring up what I think is 6 in a row. Who's remembering? But I remember a time Southern won 6 or 7 in a row. So that's what a rivalry is. You win some, you lose some. At A.W. Mumford Stadium, Jaguar Nation, they want this game really bad, and I think the players will. I wonder how this game will go because from a mental aspect, they hadn't won in a while, and if they get down early, will that just take them out of the game? My heart says Jackson State. My mind says I'm not sure, but oh the hell with that. They need this game. They want it. I'm gonna go with Southern University in a tough one, a very tough one. I'm gonna think back to the 90s and the early 2000s. That atmosphere is gonna be off the chain. I have Southern in a close victory.
Taking it back to the 99 and 2000. I like it.
Oh yeah, and both fan bases are just alike.
All right, now y'all take a trip down to the beach. Take on Bethune.
Another tough one. Last year in 5 overtimes, Jalen Woods brought it back. This could be another trap game. Do we always have to say trap games? Can we find a better term, another term? This could be a dangerous game, but I think Southern will fall behind early and they'll come back in the second half and they'll take care of business. Another tough game. They're all tough.
All right. Homecoming, you welcome in Prairie View.
New coach. He has made a lot of noise on social media. He's very confident. Very confident. I know it's going to be a slip-up game somewhere in the schedule. But homecoming, a lot of distractions. And by the way, Southern stays off campus for that game, you know, and then they come back to the campus. Prairie View and them tough. I'm going to go with Southern again. And I'm going to be repetitive, a close win.
All right. Now, my research tell me that y'all in a losing streak in this game. FAMU. FAMU, how you feel about it?
In a losing streak. And it's a lot of history.
If you want me to, we got control. We can hit some mute buttons if you need us to. Just let us know. We ain't gonna let nobody bully you, Carlos.
Oh no, because see, you have 2 against 1 here with the ONG. But I'm always like that. That's has been the odds all the time. This is another game in the Jackson State game that the fan base wants very badly, and I'm sure the coaches want it as well. The last time they had Jackson State and FAMU at home, they were disappointed. They lost both home games. And contrary to what some people believe, I think the championship for the conference is going to be won in October. October is always tough for Southern University. With that being said, I could go a possible win, a possible loss. But I'm just gonna go on the record and say Southern's gonna take care of business. They owe FAMU and they owe Jackson State. And if they don't win this game, I can't say I'll shave my hair because I don't have any hair on my head now, but I'm gonna be very disappointed. Those two games, they must win, and I say they're gonna win. So I got Southern defeating FAMU. Now let everybody in the chat room come at me.
All right. Now, for some reason, everybody seen we've had a couple shows with, teams who play Pine Bluff, and everybody seem to be scared and get quiet. So I'm gonna ask you, Carlos, Pine Bluff.
Southern's gonna win. They took care of business last year, and they had a terrific quarterback and wide receiver duo, which they left in the transfer portal, and now they're at different places. Southern's had success in Pine Bluff. They've had some close games, but I'm gonna go with Pine Bluff. I'm gonna go with Southern in this game.
All right. Going to Normal take on Alcorn State.
Charles Evans going to love this. I said earlier, it's going to be a game where they're going to slip up and lose. I'm going to say Alcorn. I mean, it is tough. Coach McNair will be coming back to the reservation, and this is a game I think could get away from Southern. So, as objective as I can be, I'm going to say Alcorn. They're going to be ready. A tough game last year. Tough, and Southern took it, but I think Alcorn wins this one.
All right. Then you got Texas Southern coming to Montford.
The last few years, they had Southern's number. And I mean, 1 year Southern kicks a 50-plus yard field goal. Then they played in Arlington 2 games, and some would say when Southern lost to Texas Southern, when Dooley was their coach, that was 3 nails in the coffin. So, with that being said, Southern bounced back after a loss the previous week. They'll take care of business with Texas Southern.
All right. Then you got the Bayou.
In this situation, sometimes the West has been on the line. Grambling State University, you really don't know what they're doing as far as this upcoming season. They have a coach that's is very outspoken, but when all the dust settles and stuff, it's the Bayou Classic. Southern will take care of business and defeat Grambling State.
All right. I got my math correct, 10-2 as well.
Yep.
All right.
Now, you just hope one of these other games is not a slip up. But to the panel, do you see a chance where a team can lose a game that they were expected to win?
Oh, easily.
Oh yeah, this is swag.
Yeah.
I mean, and you got new coaches coming in that especially on the west side. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
I expect Prairie View to be very competitive, and I didn't realize y'all played them before y'all play us. So I was looking at it from our perspective. So I would move that back to the possible. Because one thing, honestly, there's one thing I would say about that run that y'all have in October, Carlos. You're not gonna win all those games.
I mean, historically, it's been tough. That's been the toughest part.
You playing 3 of the what I project to be 3 of the top 5 teams in within like a 4-week period. So
well, the good thing is 2 of the 3 is at home.
Yeah, it don't matter though. Getting up, I'm saying the same thing about FAM. Actually, when you have to get up back to back like that, one of them weeks, emotionally and physically, you can't do it. And that's when you need luck and a few calls to go your way and be healthy. It's just a tough stretch, man. When I looked at that stretch for y'all in October, I'm like, oh, hell no.
But that's a valid point. But when you look at it, the heavyweights in the conference, they all have a rough stretch, a tough stretch.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah.
And so that's why you hear the cliches, execution, depth. And I know Coach Richardson used to always talk about it. You don't want a big drop off from the first unit to the second unit.
Right.
And those teams that don't have that big drop, they can be competitive. And hell, talking about at home, I've never seen a team y'all guys always talking about home cooking. I've never seen it for Southern. They used to get the bad calls.
What?
Oh no, Kevin. The bad no.
Hey, Carlos, I will say this. Over the last 5 to 7 years,
Mhm.
I agree with you. But man, before then, man, shoot, the referee used to run off the field when we played them because they be done got us so bad.
Well, I don't know about that one, Kevin. But that football, don't get me started about basketball. We don't need 3 officials. I'm sorry. But anyway.
Matthew already blaming the referees. Please, man, we ain't got here yet.
Hey, they human, but they miss some calls,
Speaking of Klarna, referees, I wasn't gonna bring this up because it was brought up when we talked with South Carolina State, the game last year. How close that was with FAM. Think that one play would that one play have changed the season for y'all? For y'all, would it change your outlook on the season?
Had we lost to South Carolina State?
No. If y'all had if the call would have went the other way,
and we eventually lose to South Carolina State, is what you're saying?
Yes. With that, let me rephrase that. Would your outlook on Coach Cozy and everything change how you feel about this season? Had that been a loss?
No, because because I think we're at that point. You might be worse if everything else goes the same. You're probably we are a 500 team, 6-6. You'd have to go in and look at the 5 games you lost, though. We lost
two FBS games.
2 FBS games.
Yeah, Troy and Miami. All right.
Right. Okay.
You lost to the SWAC champion or the HBCU national champion in a game that you were winning up until the last 4 minutes.
Yeah.
You lost to Prairie View that where your starting quarterback went down after the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just have that head scratcher. That's the one that you can't get over. The Valley game is the one that sticks in the crowd.
Well, at least you scored. I know years ago, Southern lost 6-0 to Valley on national TV a Thursday night. You know what happened. Stump Mitchell was gone.
Yeah.
So Valley has been a thorn in people's side.
What year was it for Stump Mitchell when that happened?
Brian, a good question. I can't remember. Somebody in the chat room can tell me.
Well, but, I would say playing Valley and Idabena is a tough deal, even for us, even with the Wheeler years and everything. Man, we've been down the Valley, had to come back and win in Valley. Yeah.
But the thing was, Southern played this game at A.W. Munford, and it lost 6-0.
Crazy.
Good guy, Coach Mitchell, but that was it.
So I think I know the answer for Brian and Kelvin. Coach Mr. Carlos, what's the most important game for Southern this year?
I could say the first game because that will tell us a lot. But it's not conference. Most important man, that's a damn good question. It's out of Jackson State and FAMU. And you can't sleep on it. So if I had to pick, JSU comes first.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd go with Jackson State.
I figured that's the same answer for y'all on Jackson State.
Yeah. Ultimately,
I would
they
say
the SWAC East, defending champions, and they're the one
decided the SWAC championship
and they're
the last
one
4
team,
years.
the only team in the SWAC since we've been in the SWAC to beat us multiple times. So yeah,
And it's decided the SWAC
every
championship the
time
last
since
4
we've been in the
years.
SWAC. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So
All right, so I'm gonna ask this question. I'm gonna take it outside of both teams. I'm gonna even take it outside the SWAC. If I'm not mistaken, you have 7 new head coaches in D1 HBCU.
Mm-hmm.
Which coach or team do you
wow.
think sees the most success year one?
Ooh, good question.
Who are the
So,
7? If you can you run that
you
list
got
down?
you've got Barlow at Tennessee State. You've got
You got Vic Jackson.
Vic Jackson. You've got North Carolina A&T.
Yeah.
You've got
State.
Valley, A&M, and Coach Jackson at
Prairie View.
Yeah, PV.
Yeah.
Wow, it comes down to me, Barlow, and the Prairie View and coach, and I'm gonna go on the limb and say Barlow with his experience in HBCU and then in the professional leagues, albeit not the NFL. I go with Barlow.
I agree with Carlos that it comes down to those two for me mainly because I think they have talent. So you add good coaching with some talent, and you have a better chance of being successful. The problem with TSU for me is the conference they're in.
Yep.
So the West is always a shootout in the SWAC. So I think Jackson at Prairie View got the best chance in year one.
I'm surprised you guys didn't think of Sam Shade.
In the East.
I'm going.
It's not happening. It's not happening. Not year one.
He just said had the most
success. I ain't say win it all. Yeah.
Most success. Here's why. Okay. He's in state, right up the road. There will be. I mean, how far is it from where he was to where he's at?
Hour and a half.
Okay. Secondly, he's going to have the best quarterback of all of the new coaches. Best quarterback. First off, and he might have one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the SWAC. Just saying, keeping it real. And secondly, I feel like he is going to do what Chinnis Berry did coming from South Carolina, or coming from Benedict to South Carolina. He's bringing how many? I don't know. Pooh, you guys probably know how many dudes from Miles is he bringing?
It's a lot. Yeah,
and them dudes from Miles were ballers. They could play. So, there's a familiarity with that style and that system. I'm just saying, don't sleep on Alabama A&M. If I were an Alabama A&M Bulldog, I'd be excited about this upcoming season.
I think really Shades definitely should be in the mix. For in this question, I think the difference between him and Coach Jackson over at PV is Shades brought a lot of his guys who already know the system. They already know what he wants to do. They already kind of have a feel for what the culture is going to be. And Jackson brought in a lot of talent at PV, but he brought in from a lot of different places. So he's going to have to try to get all them together cohesive, you know what I mean, in one season, whereas a lot of the guys Sam Shades brought in already know him, already know the system.
Yeah. So FBS transfer portal bringing quote unquote a lot of those guys, and just to be honest, if they were world beaters where they were at, they would still be there. So now they're coming in. I guess the issue you're talking about is chemistry. For Jackson State it worked. For FAMU, they bring in a lot of FBS talent, and I guess everybody does, except for Southern has a few, but they seem like they've gone the JUCO route, and the JUCO players get left out a lot, But just throwing that in for conversation.
Yeah. Now, Edwin brings up a very good point. Says Barlow is working against financial issues currently with the government. That's good.
Yeah, but I mean, what does that really mean? Does that mean, is it really affecting his recruiting budget? Is it really recruiting his team, their operations? I mean, are they going to have to bust more than they're going to fly? I mean, I understand what the things. Look, trust me, we all understand.
All of us.
The financial difficulties that all the HBCs are dealing with, but how does it really affect him and his program? That I think is a bigger answer, and I don't really know that it is going to affect him unless something is going to happen in the next month where they go from the end of the 24-25 fiscal year into the 25-26 and say, hey, Coach Shade, Coach Barlow, we're cutting $500,000 from your operational budget. If that's not happening, then I mean, what are we talking about?
And I disagree with this. He says Sam Shea has no expectations. I'm sorry. I thought it said experience. I read that completely wrong. Expectation. So I agree. Yeah, I think he comes into a better situation because I'm not gonna say a better situation. He's got a lot of support.
Better than who?
He has a lot of support, and the culture that has changed as far as what it was when Coach Maynard first got there. So,
yeah, and we know from outside of athletics, HBCUs are owed billions of dollars.
Oh yeah,
and we know, hey, it won't come in a week or 2 or 6 months or years, but still put pressure. And a lot of times, and that's what I like about HBCUs, they've done more with less. And they're still here. Do they have financial problems, other problems? Yes, they do. But they're still here.
Hold on, I missed one. We got somebody send a super chat and I missed it.
Get my super chat, good sir.
Carlos, no matter how you describe it, SWAT versus MEAC or MEAC versus SWAT, North Carolina Central wins on 8-23-25.
Oh, you're very confident. I'm sure you're a North Carolina person. I wouldn't expect anything less.
Walker Harris is coming. That's all he's going. That's all. That'll be the next statement. Here comes Walker Harris. Watch out.
We're gonna unleash Kelby Givens and a couple more little surprises.
Well, don't hurt him up too bad. Carlos. We still want to see. I'd be so disappointed if Walker Harris is not making the trip to Tallahassee in October. So tell Kelby, don't rough him up too much.
Let me ask y'all fellas this: what's y'all's SWAC championship game preview? I mean, a prediction.
Oh, I gotta be a homer. I usually pride myself on not having the thick blue and gold glasses on. But each year, my expectations, hell, I'll put it out there. SWAC championship game, I think it'll be a rematch.
I agree.
I do too. I already said it.
It's going to be one of the. I'll be as transparent and objective as possible. I agree that it's going to be a rematch, and it's going to come down to Jackson State or FAMU against Southern.
And Kelvin, if they lose to them twice or even once, I'll probably retire and go be a monk in Tibet. Because the Jackson State fans they're just like Southern fans. And look, they keep digging it in when they win.
Oh yeah, they could be.
But remember, Jackson State fans, it was a time the roles were reversed. Southern had a nice long winning streak.
Well, I'm just glad. I'm just glad from a scheduling standpoint, FAMU falls where they fall against Southern. I think we sitting real good looking at y'all's schedule now.
I'm confused now, Ant, because I've already seen shirts being made that is being sold that Prairie View gonna be in Atlanta. So I'm confused on
where do you see this at?
So,
really? Where? Who's doing that?
I'm trying to figure out. Somebody lying. I'm just trying to figure it out. So
I like Prairie View. I do believe they're coming second. I'm gonna tell you why I like Southern, and I'm pushing. Not only are they the defending champions, but I like their style of play. They know who they are, and I noticed how young their offensive line was last year. Once they started playing those younger guys, so they're physical up front. They finally figured out their quarterback halfway through the season.
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't make a lot of mistakes. There's a lot I like about what they do. They gonna play everything close. That's my only scary thing about them.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
ain't gonna they're not gonna put teams away, and I figure that's probably gonna cost them at least one game somewhere. But yeah, they're consistent though. They bring their lunch pail every week, so that's why I like them.
And it's interesting. The old line, they had brought in some transfers and stuff, but um, two guys, and they were a redshirt freshman and a freshman.
That's all.
And Brian Wallace and wow, what's the other guy's name?
Yeah.
Locally from Baton Rouge, Woodlawn High School.
Yeah.
Two freshmen.
Yep.
And they brought a physicality, but they were young.
Yep.
And still a bit green. They're back plus what they've added. So, and good point, Kelvin. They win a lot of close games.
Yeah.
It'd be good for once just to come out and just put an old stomping on somebody and let it go. But one of Southern's broadcasters years ago, the great J.C. Police said, if you got heart problems, get your heart medicine now. And that's kind of the way Southern has been in the last couple of years offensively.
All right. And I don't have anything else. Do you got anything?
No, I'm good, man. It's been a pleasure having y'all guys back again, man. We're gonna have to do it during the season to see if these predictions how they hold up whenever the ball is actually kicked off. But I appreciate y'all joining us, man.
We're gonna go from who lying to who stuttering, because somebody gonna get on the show and be like, I
want to see the final results. I want to see all these numbers. If everybody's picking their team to win 9-10 games, I want to see the list.
Don't worry. I will have a graphic. It's gonna have people pick. And listen, I done figured out AI now. It's over with for y'all.
There you go.
It's over with for y'all.
Well, I just want to say it's been a pleasure, and you two guys and Kelvin, it's good. I always say this: the relationships you've built over the years, getting into what you guys do, what I do, and so we still say everybody, support us.
Yeah.
And you guys do a great job. I look forward to always coming each year. And so don't forget about me next year. I'll be pleased to come back. But everybody keep up the good work.
All right. Before we go, let y'all go ahead and I'll start with Mr. Kelvin. Let you go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you and anything you want to shout out.
Well, you definitely can find me on the O&G Strike Zone on Wednesdays at 8:00. Come find out what's going on. We talk mostly FAMU athletics, but we do talk SWAC and HBCU things from time to time. I'm on all the different platforms, but the one I'm most active on is Twitter, and is at Kelvin Rozier. And I just want to again thank you all for bringing us on the show, man. I love talking this stuff, man. I cover FAMU, but trust me, I watch all of HBCU sports, particularly the SWAC football, and I'm looking for a exciting season.
All right. Mr. Brian, Coach B.
Again, appreciate you guys. As Kelvin said, every Wednesday night, 8:00 Eastern, 7 Central, Black College Sports Network, or at O&G Strike Zone on Facebook or YouTube is where you can find us. You can also find me and AD Drew on Sunday nights, 6:00 Eastern, 5 Central. We kind of do the BCSN Sports Wrap, all things HBCU. Even though we are Rattlers, we've been doing our show for about 8 years. We've been covering everything in the HBCU sporting diaspora. So appreciate you guys. Love the platform. Love what you guys are doing with this. Look forward to the upcoming season.
All right. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Carlos Brown.
You can watch the Carlos Brown Show on the Black College Sports Network. We're on all social media platforms. And if you check out our show, let us know if you like it or not. It's me, along with Charles Edmond of the Alcorn State Radio Network. We got Willa Brown, who's a former AD at Jackson State and other places. And then the legend, Coach Van Pettaway, former men's basketball coach at Alabama A&M. So you get a coaching perspective from the AD, and you also get me, the quarterback, if I can say it that way, and also Charles Edmond with broadcasting history. So you get different perspectives. It's Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time to 1 p.m. right on the Black College Sports Network. And again, thank you for having me, and I appreciate you guys.
All right. Man, look, it was our pleasure. Thank y'all again. I can say on behalf of Ant and myself, truly appreciate y'all believing in us to come on, some year after year and talk this with us. So look forward to seeing y'all at Media Day.
That's right.
Yep.
Cutting up. So all right. Ant, remind me, we gotta get an Angel Reese jersey for Coach B. All right. Matter of fact, we're gonna get them two of them.
When she wins a championship. So I'm not worried about having to wear one. I'm not talking rivaled and all that.
She already did. That's why the girl mad out of 9.
That's good. That's good. She does. You know what? You're right. She does have one. She got a college one, and she got a third-tier league one, and so good for her. Good for her.
All right. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll be back on Monday. Monday we'll be moving to the we'll be going to the Coastal Athletic Conference. We'll be talking to Hampton and North Carolina A&T.
Make sure I tune in.
All right. See y'all then, and like that, we out.